a Ukrainian fighter jet took down a Russian Su-35 fighter jet over the Kherson region. According to a Ukrainian correspondent, the Ukrainian Armed Forces Air Force Command published the remark on Facebook. According to air warfare experts, Russia has launched more missiles in the Ukraine conflict than any other country in a fight since World War II, a record that has failed to pay off for Russia. 2,154 missiles have hit Ukrainian cities so far, and Moscow does not seem to cease its air campaign anytime soon. The bombing campaign has failed to aid Putin in winning his war, revealing important insights about the future of warfare. Russia's dubious global record for missile attacks came after President Zelensky said that his country had destroyed its 200th Russian plane, a humiliating outcome for a country with an air force 15 times greater than Ukraine's. The international response to this historic event praised Ukraine's defenders while criticizing Russia for failing to capitalize on its massive numerical advantage. Moscow's blunder has entailed failure to achieve air superiority over Ukraine, as well as the country's diminishing stockpile of precision-guided weaponry. In response to all of this, Russia announced on Sunday that it has downed 165 Ukrainian planes since the start of its special military operation. That's about 3 times the number of fighter jets Ukraine currently has. The Russian Air Force continues to show no signs of waging an air supremacy campaign, retired British Air Chief Marshal Edward Stringer said. In this context, campaign refers to a systematic effort to destroy Ukraine's air defenses, notably the early warning and communication systems required to trigger surface-to-air missiles and inform defenders of where and when planes are approaching. In the first Gulf War, the U.S. set the standard for such a campaign, which Stringer describes as a well-worn tactical procedure that is thought to be important in any war. To win an air campaign, you need to blind the enemy, destroy their communication capacity, shoot down their jets, disable their airfields, and dull their ground-based surface-to-air missiles. Additionally, you need to take control of the sky to shield forces from air attacks, which is a necessary first step towards weakening enemy capabilities. The refusal of Russia to pursue this course has become a defining aspect of the Ukraine conflict, one that mystifies Western observers. Moscow appeared to have given up on following this American war precondition after 48 hours of strikes on Ukrainian air defense systems in the initial stages of the war. The Russians bombed airfields and air defense systems on the first 2 days, but didn't follow up after the initial strikes. Ukraine's limited air force was mainly crippled, but Kiev was given time to respond. They dispersed their forces and relied heavily on shoulder-held Stinger Manpad missiles. Under threat from Ukrainian surface-to-air missiles, Russia flew fewer bombing flights beyond its own forces' front lines, accounting for a little over 10% of total sorties flown. Long-range strikes or strategic targets were still conducted, but with a mix of sea, air, and ground-launched missiles. The attacking planes and bombers, backed up by ground launchers and missile-firing ships and submarines, all delivered their payloads without entering Ukrainian airspace. According to Ukrainian sources, a Russian fighter plane was downed by the Ukrainian Air Force in an airborne confrontation on Friday afternoon. A MiG-29 fighter of the Air Force of Ukraine took down a Russian Su-35 jet in the sky of Kherson area today, May 27th at approximately 2 p.m., the Air Force stated in a statement. It went on to say that the Su-35 was searching for Ukrainian combat aircraft. Ukraine's pilots deserve a pat on the back. The occupiers must perish, declared the message. The war, which has not yielded the quick and easy triumph that Putin had hoped for, has taken its toll on the Russian community and economy due to harsh sanctions imposed by the United States and other countries. According to reports, an increasing number of Russian elites are turning against Putin and his war, with even government officials denouncing him for refusing to get out of Ukraine. Do you think the elites in Russia will be able to halt this campaign, or will it be up to the generals on either side to see the war finished, one way or another? Let us know in the comments below.